Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to another awesome edition of the ConnectWise Ready Field Report. I
You're
am
here
joined
again,
here.
Vicky.
We are. Hey, and we're joined by Will too, my amazing co-host with the most. So,
Hello, hello,
Will,
hello.
I've got some
Give me
animals. You've got a new body of water behind
got a
you.
lake behind me today. So nice.
I know. You think there are any gators in that lake?
This is Florida, so absolutely. And being that there are suddenly turkey vultures circling above my head, I'm not too thrilled about my prospects today.
Well, this would be a very special episode if something were to happen. We're just
Right.
gonna ask you to keep an eye out for anything moving on the ground while we're doing
Yeah,
our
viewers,
updates.
viewers, if
And
you see a gator sneak up on me, please let us know in the comments.
there you go. And so for today's episode, we've got a lot of really awesome guests who are joining us. And then we've got some awesome updates related to some events coming up at ConnectWise and some product specific updates that I think could be some really helpful tools that are free for our partners to leverage. So yeah, well, where do you
Yeah.
want to start, man? And all that
What?
goodness. Where do we go next?
I want to start with IT Nation Secure since it's coming up in like less
Ooh.
than 60 days at this point. Secure is going to be going through June 3rd through 5th is the Gaylord Palms in Orlando. So great venue, awesome time. If you haven't registered for Secure yet, do it. It's going to be so much fun. There's going to be 3 tracks that you're going to be able to kind of go through. The first one's going to be on basically building and operationalizing cybersecurity within your business. There's also going to be the protect, detect, and response track, and then there's going to be the marketing and sales track. Because let's face it, marketing and sales is hard. So getting some information on how to do that a little bit easier is going to be huge for you guys. It's going to be awesome.
It is going to be
Now,
awesome. So what you're
yeah, it is.
saying is that IT Nation Secure is really meant for everyone. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, gross. Sorry, I just got horse snot all over my arm. That's great.
I think we're off to a good start this
We're
time. I love it.
off to a good
But yeah.
start. Yeah.
So as to why you want to go to this, well, first and foremost, IT Nation Secure is a great place to go, like actual insights from a lot of industry experts. You'll be able to get like new methods and new frameworks that you'll be able to implement within your business immediately. And you're going to be able to start working on building your stacks even better. We've got over 60 vendors that are going to be at Secure this year. So you'll be able to see who's got the greatest and latest, talk to a lot of vendors, and be able to really kind of take it all in. And my 2 favorite parts about the IT Nation events, first and foremost, is networking. I love being able to see people, meet people, see people I haven't seen in a year or so. And then, of course, the parties. So it's a great social event as well. I think, is that
Yeah,
Don Juan? I think he wants the spotlight today, Vicky.
I think he does too. I think he does too. He loves his butt scratches. I told you. It's so
I
funny.
love it. Just hang out there.
Yeah, there you go. It's a nice armrest. So, all right, well, great. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of great things to look forward to for IT Nation Secure. So make
Yeah.
sure that you register today. We look forward to seeing you in Orlando in June. And as far as other updates that are going on, actually in the realm of cybersecurity, we just released the 2024 ConnectWise Threat Report. So if
Ooh,
you are really interested to see, we do this every year, right? And if you're really interested to see all of this great research that our cyber research unit and our cyber security evangelists have helped to create, then please make sure to download the report. We'll make sure we get you the link here at the end of the show. And there's also a live stream coming up next week. I think it's on April 11th with some of our cyber team. And they're going to
yeah.
show high level, like what to look forward to from that report. And then if you're interested in a deeper dive, there is a webinar on April 25th that you can
Oh,
register
that's
for.
cool.
So again, yeah, we'll put all that goodness in the notes so that way you know where to go and how to find all of those details about the threat report. So yeah,
That's awesome. So
it is.
another thing I kind of want to talk about real quick for you. There's a lot going on with both the university and virtual community right now. First and foremost is the future of business management. There's a lot going on in business management right now. We're doing a lot of reimagination. We're talking about the path to ASIO, and let's face it, there's too much to talk about right here on the field report. So I do want to go ahead and call out that we do have a Future of Business Management page on the university now, and it's going to be kind of the hub for everything new with business management. So you'll be able to see all of the new updates and announcements coming from our business management team. So it should be pretty awesome. In addition to that, on the RMM side of things, we do actually have a new virtual community dedicated to automate. Join it. It's awesome. We love hearing people. It's actually one of the best places to go get things like real-time updates, as well as being able to start discussions with the actual product team who is in there daily. So something to just keep in mind, if you're an Automate user, you have your own virtual community now. It's not just a monitoring and management virtual community. There is also the virtual community for RMM, and it's super active. So if you are an RMM user, join the virtual community. It's really active since the RMM Mastery Series is kicked off. So I'm very excited for that. So it's had great traction, Vicky. Like, I can't tell you how excited people are for this RMM Mastery Series. Like, you've heard about it?
I've heard. The bird is the word, and the word is the bird is the RMM Mastery Series. We've had over 1,000 people like watching live at one time, so it definitely is great. And I know that our partners are probably super pumped about having an Automate virtual community too, because you know, deep down inside, like when I started 9 years ago, I was Team Lab Tech. I started at Lab Tech officially. I still have my old, email address out there somewhere at labtechsoftware.com. But yeah, so I know that that's obviously a great community. They want to have those updates. So now you have it, folks. Vernon, Southmate is in there along with a lot of our other awesome product folks. So, all right,
and
cool.
I know that's a lot of links, so we will do a link dump at the end of this broadcast, just so you have all the links to those places and you're not having to go, where did they talk about again? We'll make sure it's there for you.
Yeah.
So.
Who, what, where? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and then
so
lastly,
many cool things.
So all the things. Yeah. So we talked about cyber, we talked about business management, we talked about RMM, or Unified Monitoring and Management. So let's close out with ecosystem. If Don Juan doesn't push me out of the frame, Don Juan.
He's
so
like, I am the star of the show.
We have a live stream, a webinar that's coming up on the 24th of April with some amazing certified integrators of ours, GlassHive, Gong, and TimeZest. Yeah, and they're going to be talking a lot about how to leverage automation to drive revenue growth as well as higher client satisfaction levels. And so I think it's going to be a really unique pairing of vendors, and I know they're all great communicators too. So make sure that you register for that today. And I think that's it.
Super exciting. It's a lot of updates, like just right in one, right?
Right,
but,
and we're kind of rushing through it because we want to get to the guests.
Exactly. Look, we've got special guests today. I am super excited about this because they're both pretty cool dudes. So I'm thrilled that we get to have them both on the field report. I think first we want to go ahead and let's bring on Mr. Kyle Spooner from MSP Geek to talk to us about MSP Geek Con, which is coming up May 19th through 21st in Orlando, right, Kyle?
That is exactly right. It feels like it's tomorrow, and I am not ready for it to be tomorrow. So, I appreciate you guys having me on. ConnectWise is going to be there.
Tell us what's new.
So
we're going to be there.
We've published our agenda with our speakers and our sessions, so that's available now for those who are interested. But MSP GeekCon itself is a focus wholly on education. We've hand selected every single one of our speakers. We've got a set of keynote course sessions that we've had a topic abstract that we've done, and we've gone to people and say, hey, look, this is what we want you to talk about. Do you feel comfortable doing it? And had some interviews and picked those out of people we felt could deliver a good talk on that subject, and we have 6 of those. Those are also available, and it's honestly super excited to be able to do this again for a second year. So big shout out to
year 2, right?
It is year 2. ConnectWise is actually doing a pre-day for anyone interested.
Yeah, we are.
Ooh, nice.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Can't wait for that as well. But it's going to be in Orlando at the Rosen Plaza, same place it was last year for those who may have been. But I'm super excited about it. We've expanded our tracks, we've expanded our talks, and we're going to bring more education to more people.
Yeah, you want to talk about your tracks a little bit? Because I know you got some pretty interesting themes for your tracks this year.
So we have 4 tracks, and it's been fun. So we've had people, process, automation. We have the human side of technology, and we have secure, defend, recover. And each year we've decided to have our conferences based on a theme. This year is celebration. We wanted to celebrate the little things and the big things, the tiny accomplishments and the big accomplishments from all aspects. You finally close that deal with that client. You finally achieve that certification. You finally close that one ticket that's been sitting for 2 years. Anything like that, we want to celebrate it. So we've built a 4th track called what we're calling Goot's Choice, which Goots is our goose-like mascot. And
love it.
It's themed around celebration. So it's Goot's Choice celebration this year. And it's going to be great.
That's going to be awesome, man. I know we're excited to be there. I know you guys have done a ton as far as planning goes, and we would love to see everyone show up there, especially if you've got technicians you're looking to upskill, if you've got veteran techs who just want to learn something new. Like, this is probably one of the best hands-on places you can go to just start to add more tools to that tech toolbox, right, Kyle?
Yeah. We're a little bit different than some of the other conferences. Our target isn't necessarily the owner to come to our conference. We'll have stuff that will obviously be beneficial for owners, but our main target is our technicians, the service managers, the engineers, all of those in that area because though we don't really invest as MSPs, we generally tend to not invest as much as we probably should into our staff who run the business on the day-to-day and do all the hard work, closing those tickets and making sure our clients are happy. So we want to be able to help elevate them and help get them grow and reach that next level.
Absolutely. And honestly, go for Vicky.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say, there was actually this really interesting research study that I found this week. It was in 2023, and Synchro was the one who collected like this feedback from over 600 MSPs. It was North America, so like US and Canadian-based MSPs. 75% of the 603 mentioned that I'm a business owner or I'm a manager. I'm taking this survey and I'm larger than 10 plus, 60% were larger than 10 plus users. And what I thought was really interesting is like, it's all about how they consume content and how they educate themselves and stuff like that. And so it talks about like, what's the industry news? Like, what are the podcasts? What are the books you're reading? All of that stuff. And over 50% of the people that responded to this survey said that they're not going to live events. And again, this was primarily managers and business owners. And I'm thinking, Kyle, like in your mind, since this is really positioning the technology user, right, and not maybe necessarily the decision maker or the business owner, could that potentially change, right? If we continue targeting, the future managers, right, the future business owners of the MSP space with events like this.
Potentially. It really depends on what people value out of the conferences and what they feel like they can get out of it. And I think that's the core thing that we're trying to make sure people have something to get out of it, which is why we've designed our 4 sessions. So at least you have 6 hours worth of content. We, as those deeply tied into the community and are feeling how MSPs are, we feel like you need to be discussed. Like, last year we talked about imposter syndrome and mental health and how extremely high level technicians overcome that and deal with that. And it's not just everyone deals with this stuff. I deal with it. I'm sure you guys have dealt with it. It's we talk about stuff like that. We talk about motivation, and we talk about culture and employee satisfaction and how you can build a better culture. Being at the lowest level of a company, you can still work towards creating a better culture for those around you and stuff like that. And that's I think making sure that there's content and education and stuff around that that people can get out of, and also that there's times to talk, right? I think that's
Yeah.
one of the, it's very common for those who've been to a lot of conferences to say the best things you hear are at the hallway sessions, right? And having times to be able to do that, I think is key. And we've tried to do that in our agenda for this year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's
that's
really
awesome.
cool.
Like, it's one of those things where if you're looking to invest in your team, it is infinitely more cost effective for you as an MSP owner to invest in your team, send them to MSP GeekCon to get a lot of knowledge than it is to have turnover and have them leave and go somewhere else and you have to hire someone else. So investing in your team is a great thing to do. And this is one of the best ways to do it right here. So, because it is content that is very, very relevant to all of the people sitting there knocking out those tickets for you every day.
Yeah. One of the comments that one of the common issues, because I'm not an owner of my MSP, I work for it. And one of the comments that I'm talking to owners and talking to other people in about employee engagement and development is they're worried that if they let them go take certifications, if they, let them go do this, that either they're not going to learn something like tangible, they're just going to use it to elevate themselves and go get a different job. So they'll lose that investment, or they like the certification themselves, they just cram it and then they forget everything after they pass the test. So our goal is to be able to provide tangible, useful stuff that MSPs go through on a day-to-day basis. We have someone doing a talk about how to build a culture at a company. We have someone doing a talk about CMMC, why an individual hired and fired an MSP. Like, there's so many great talks that we've had. We had 100 submissions for 24 spots. It is like, for anyone doing the IT Nation stuff, like I
that's awesome.
do not because I've submitted talks before, so I completely understand how many. If we only get 100, I don't imagine how many flow through your bank.
A lot.
All of them.
So I don't envy anyone having to select speakers, because there's some good talks that we did not make the cut, just not because they weren't good, just because we had limited spots. It's very fun. It's very rough.
Well, maybe they could be good candidates for Rejection Con, or
absolutely. Also,
all right, awesome.
So because you guys are sponsored us, if anyone watching wants to get a discount on the tickets, you can use code ConnectWise to get 10% off.
Ooh!
Oh, I love that! Boom!
So that was a nice even more reason to go ahead and send your people to MSP GeekCon, because you can also get 10% off now.
Yep.
Even cooler. Awesome, Kyle. Well, we appreciate you joining us today, man. Like, this is awesome getting to talk about MSP GeekCon, because I've been in a lot of your meetings and you guys are just so passionate about it. I love it. So I'm very, very excited to be able to help you spread that word, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you guys on board, and you helping specifically on our volunteer team. It's been super helpful.
Look, we're here for you, man.
That's cool. So, wait, one last pitch is, if you do not belong to the MSP Geek community, you got to, folks.
Go join.
Go join now. It's free.
I always lean with that. It's free. It's come hang out.
It's free.
There's 12,000 of us hanging out, having chit chats.
There's a link right there on the bottom. Join it.
Oh, it's almost like Jess. Yeah, it's almost like our producer knew. She's so great.
The best.
And so are you, Kyle. We appreciate you.
Yeah, you're great too. So I think we have one more person we want to bring on, right? Kyle, you want to hang out for color commentary with us?
I'm sure.
Oh, all right. I think everyone kind of loves our next guest. Vicky?
He's my t-shirt twinsy today, Sean Lardo, who heads up our Pitch It program.
Yes.
Hey, Sean.
Oh, hey, girl.
Thanks for joining us today, man. It's good to see you.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you guys for having me. And I'm so glad when we were in the green room, I said to Kyle, we haven't had a talk in like ages. Like, and I'm glad you guys are successful with your conference, because every time I see you at a conference, we literally spend 10 seconds in saying hello to each other at this point.
You're so busy. I mean,
I don't know. I look at you and you're kind of busy, dude. You're a pretty busy guy.
If you're not busy at a conference, you're not doing it right.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
I would totally agree with that.
100%.
And I do appreciate, Vicky, you walking into this with like, hey, one last pitch for MSP GeekCon as we get ready to talk about pitching. I felt like I don't know if you purposely did that, but it was very
It
clever.
was. I didn't. Don Juan's literally knocking me off my game today. So, I'm glad that we're keeping it together by thread.
Doing well with it, I'll tell you.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, I know that there's probably a lot of viewers that are listening in that are familiar with it, but can you give us like a high level overview of what Pitch It is?
Yeah. Simply put, it is. So first, this is our 6th year in the running with this now. It is a Shark Tank like competition, or over what I learned yesterday or 2 days ago, over the pond. It's the Dragon's Den or the Dragon's Lair or something like that's called. Same show. Yeah. So I didn't know that. Thank you to Dan Scott the other day for correcting me to talk to his audience. However, it is a Shark Tank like competition. It is ConnectWise's search for the innovators, startup vendors. I love watching Vicky just get bullied around, by the way.
I know, right?
I can't stop looking at it. It's like a train wreck waiting to happen. So no, it is for the innovators, right? It is us looking for the right vendors to put into our ecosystem. They have to be able to do 2 predominant things here. One is they have to be able to integrate into us, ConnectWise. 2 is they have to be supporting the mission of the MSPs, which is the most fundamental thing we need to do. In the end, though, as I mentioned, it's a Shark Tank competition. So these vendors are all competing through 16 weeks of training, awareness campaigns, and whatnot. In the end, we're looking for the final 3 that'll compete live at IT Nation Connect in November for the grand prize of $70,000.
70 grand.
Yeah, as I'm saying, I'm watching Vicky get pushed into the screen.
Yeah, it's just back and forth.
I know, it's literally like a fight. It is a fight. I've never met an animal who loves to have his butt scratched so much. It's so funny.
But we all know that Don Juan is the actual star of this broadcast.
I would agree.
Today it is his butt.
It's his butt. So Sean, tell us a little bit about.
Yeah,
sorry.
Good. Keep going. What do you want to know about now, Vicky?
Oh my God.
We broke Vicky.
I'll jump in. So this is the details of the current state of events. Everybody knows. Right now, the application period is open until April 30th. If you know any vendors that are looking for a way to get more involved in ConnectWise's ecosystem into the community, have them apply. We do have the link right across the bottom of the screen here, scrolling. As of April 30th, it'll be closed. So if you don't put it in, if you don't apply before then, you're automatically disqualified, of course, because we do have a short form and a long form. You have to do both. Over the first week of May, those first few days, the team will review all applicants. We'll be selecting 26 vendors. They will know who they are within the first week of May. And at which point within the first 2 weeks, we will make the announcement. There'll be a press release that'll come out to acknowledge and congratulate the people that made the cut for the program. It doesn't matter what you guys do as a vendor. This is not like an AI or cybersecurity only thing. And I say that specifically because those are the sexiest topics we can talk about, right? Everybody loves AI and cybersecurity. However, I want everybody to understand that every year, the last 2 years, all the finalists are from all different walks of life, different industries. They are QBR companies, they are cyber companies, they are alert notification companies, they are all the above. So don't think that you shouldn't apply because you're not one of the 2 major.
I'm pretty sure that your winner last year is actually one of the sponsors at MSP GeekCon, Thread.
Thread.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yeah, they're awesome.
What a good plug, Kyle. You're so good at this anymore, man.
Get that.
He is good at it.
What are
He is good at it.
Because the startup vendors, there's a lot of startup vendors and new vendors to the space, just in general, as my emails say for people wanting to sponsor the event that I've never heard of. So what are your requirements for Pitch It? Like, what are your baseline?
Great question. We're not looking for people that have concepts. We're looking for people that actually have customers, right? They have to have an actual product or a solution they're providing to customers today, right? And as I mentioned, it has to be for MSPs, right? And it has to integrate in us. But also, the word startup is. I've debated this topic of what a startup is, and I know, Kyle, this would be a great conversation for like an hour or 3 days even of what you define as a startup. But I've worked for 20-year startups. Right, because some of these guys, keep in mind, a lot of these owners, they are or were or are currently MSPs, and they started doing this on the side. So they may have established 20 years ago, but they never really put any value, no effort into it until more recently. So they are technically still a startup. It's been like a hobby that they build something for them and their friends they actually use in their companies. But we're looking for people below $2 million. They could not have received major funding. We're not, friends and family, we know a lot of guys do for bootstrap. But if they receive any major funding or they're over $2 million in revenue, they cannot be considered for the competition. And we kept it that way. It's deeper than that, but we kept the rules of applying at that level because we didn't want to discount people that think they shouldn't be part of it because of the startup conversation, even because of what it is. So
we've had a similar thing with because we have a specific tier that's similar to Pitch It. You have requirements that it's an extremely cheap sponsor tier, and we limit them to 5. And so our limits were a little inflated this year. So because the requests we got, so we're definitely going to trim those down a little bit. But it's the startup thing is a very interesting concept because
it absolutely is. Because because you
wait,
can say,
hold on, guys, hold on.
Right. Yes.
I just wanted to say, I feel like there may be some potential synergies here between MSP GeekCon and Pitch It. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yes, I'm totally down to work with MSP GeekCon and MSP Geek at large and really just Kyle. I just went over Kyle. To actually do things because one of the big pieces for our vendors we want them to do is we want to submerge them into the community. And your conference and your group is part of the communities regardless, right? And how many vendors do you not know of, like you just mentioned, that you would never heard of if somebody didn't bring them to the table? And so we want to, and we work with like ASCII and Channel Pro and those guys, and we bring their vendors to them, and they have a program built around this. And I'm literally introducing these guys to them, bring them as sponsors or speakers or whatever it may be. But we also go in with the agreement that they're going to do what you guys need them to do. It's your guys' show, but so I'm totally down. I would love to bring everybody. Last year we had 26 vendors. This year we're going to have 26 vendors in. So it's a lot of vendors to really give them some face time and get them. I think the goal for all of us collectively is to help them grow so they can provide solutions.
Help the community.
Yeah.
Solve problems.
Yes. A rising tide lifts all boats. I love it.
Yes.
Hey,
awesome.
That's MSP Geek's motto.
Is it? Well,
I love it.
There you go. Well, that's really great stuff. I mean, if you're a vendor, make sure that you are paying attention and applying to Pitch It because there's a lot of great thought leadership. It's a really intense incubator program, but you'll come out the other side being so much more knowledgeable about what you can take back to your business and to be able to mature and grow and to be able to really help our community even more. So thank you so much for joining us, Sean. It's great to see you. Yeah, and thanks, Kyle, for joining us as well, sir.
Absolutely.
We'll keep driving those and promoting those registrations to MSP GeekCon. Is there anything else? Yeah. Is there anything else that you guys?
Vicky.
What?
I have one thing.
Ooh.
We have a live stream next on the 9th. If anybody's interested in if they're not busy and want to spend some time watching us, we're going to have on last year's second place finisher from Pitch It, which is VCIO Toolbox and Brian Doyle, and also Callan Sapien, MSP Bots. They'll be on with me live next Tuesday at I want to say 2 p.m. Eastern.
And Callan was a coach, right? Callan was a coach last year for.
Yes, Callan was a coach the last 2 years. Callan is also the originator of Pitch It. So
yeah. MSP Bots was one of our sponsors. I mean, we have several of our sponsors that with the Pitch It. Compliance Risk, which was Compliance Scorecard back then. There's a few of them. Thread, obviously. There's a couple more probably that I haven't.
All the love being shared amongst all the groups. See, and
that's part of what the ecosystem is about.
Mm-hmm.
What's Vicky doing? That's what I like to know. Like, it's what's happening, man.
I feel like Don Juan's trying to steal her phone
in general. Well, now he's eating grass, so you know. Oh, did I leave? Did I leave?
You're here. We're here. You're there. We can see you, baby.
Now you left.
No, now she left. Oh, well, we lost Vicky. So I guess I can wrap it up, or we'll wait for her to come back. again, Friday Field Report is something we do regularly. So we would love to see everybody continue to attend. We're going to continue to talk about all the awesome stuff here. And I believe the next Friday Field Report, hopefully Vicky will get to come back and talk about the cool new stuff, because I believe we're going to have, there you are, Vicky, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It was
You
like
got here just in time
It was like
to
watching
talk about what, right? This is exactly how that works. You got here just in time, Vicky, to talk about what's going to happen in the next Field Report.
Yes. Okay. So in 2 weeks, we are going to have some more special guests joining us on the Friday Field Report from Glass Hive, and including a partner of ours as well that's leveraging for their business. So I'm sure we'll have some other product updates for you and some other great things to share. Don Juan, you stay away from that camera, dude. Stay away. But until then, everyone, I hope you have a great day, a great weekend, and we look forward to seeing you soon back on the Friday Field Report. Cheers.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
Thanks.